Hello everybody, Jake here. Today I'm doing a collaboration with Dancy Bearded and Jamie Page. I'm going to go ahead and put Dancy's logo in this piece of wood that I got from Worldwide Burl. It's super cool. It's stabilized, that's what these lines are, so I need to sand that off, get on the CNC machine, and I'm going to put his logo in there. I'm going to inlay it with resin, and then there's already a live show of us actually doing something with this. I'll put a link to that below. Dancy and Jamie's stuff will be below, so go check that stuff out. Let's get started. I'm gonna start by sanding this and then we'll get it on the CNC machine. This is just like 100 grit sandpaper right here. You can use pretty aggressive stuff to get this the stabilizing resin off there. And then there's actually some tool marks in the wood too. I also got that out. So once you're satisfied with that, you go ahead and put it on the CNC machine. I did several practice runs with different bits to see. His logo has some intricate stuff in the beard, and some of the bits would just ruin it once it would try to cut that. So I found this bit right here and got it done. All right, this thing is carved out with his logo in there. It should be pretty cool. I put this in the oven, 150 to 175 for like 15 minutes. All that does is to get the surface moisture out of it. So what I'm gonna do now, just to double make sure, so I'm gonna mix up just a little bit of Alumilite Clear Slow and coat it on there. And that way, make sure to seal, if there's any moisture in there, I want it to seal it in there. So we'll go ahead and measure out some. This shouldn't take much. And then we'll wait about 30 minutes or so. I'll pop bubbles. I'm not even gonna pressure pot it. All I want to do is seal that. So let's see. This isn't gonna take much at all. So this is 1-to-1 by weight. I've never done one this small. And here we go. We'll do another 10. There it is. Exactly 20. I never get that lucky. So we'll get rid of this scale. Turn on our timer. This is for usually 12 minutes, but there's barely any in there. So we'll see if it takes the whole 12 minutes. It depends on how much you're mixing and the temperature of the room on how long it's going to take to get up to temperature. But all I really need to do is get this well mixed. Probably should have used a smaller little, like a medicine cup or something. But I didn't. So I'll mix this for a couple minutes and then just paint some on there. All I want to do is seal this. Here you go, 3 minutes. This is already coming up in temperature a little bit, so it's 80 degrees. So I'm pretty sure it's well mixed. I've already mixed it for almost 4 minutes, so we'll go ahead and paint some on there. Let me make sure you're in the camera view. I don't need it to be crazy thick or anything. I'm just coating it. And I don't care if it gets up here. I'm going to sand this later after we put resin in it. Basically, that's all we got to do right there. That should keep us out of trouble. I'm gonna go ahead and get a torch, and when bubbles come up, I'll torch them. So I'll go ahead and, this is a new torch. So you don't want to get too crazy. You don't want it to set it off faster than it wants to set off. I'll sit here and watch this for about half hour, and then when we come back, it should be tacked up enough to where we can pour the color in here. All right, it's been 30 minutes and this is sticky and I think it's pretty good. I did 15 grams and 15 grams, part A, part B already. Start this timer. I think what I'm gonna do now, I got Ninja Black from Eye Candy Pigments. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use just enough to where you can't see through it. And I'm gonna put a little bit on here just to show you, and then I'm gonna put it in the bottom of the pressure pot and kind of level it, and I'm gonna finish it off in the pressure pot. So, and I'm gonna leave it in there overnight because the smaller amount that you use, the longer it takes to set up and stuff, and I don't wanna rush this. So I'll just come out here in the morning and I'll be able to sand it then. I should be able to, if it's all the way, it should be all the way set up. I'm just being extra careful by letting it sit overnight. Normally, I mean, this is not that big of an amount. I'm used to using bigger amounts, and then you can just take it out in a couple hours out of the pressure pot. So we'll just be careful. This is an expensive piece of wood. So I'll just be extra careful. It'll be all right. Here's this Ninja Black Eye Candy Pigments. I do have a coupon code for them, Jake 10, and Illumilite also, Jake 10 at checkout. So if you need some stuff, go ahead and get it. Save some money. I can kind of see through this stick. Put some on there. And it's not as dark as I'd like it to be, so I'll just add just a little bit more. Not too much because we don't have a lot of resin in there, but just enough where we can't see through it. Normally, if you have multiple colors, you're going to wait till it's 95 degrees, 100 degrees. We don't have to. As long as we think it's thick enough or there's enough color in there and we think it's mixed up well enough, we can go ahead and pour it. We don't have to wait because it's just one color. And the reason being is if you're doing multiple colors at a certain temperature, it'll swirl instead of mix together. I like that a lot better. So, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and pour it. We're only at 6 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit in here, like I was talking about, and then finish it off in the pressure pot and try to level it up so I'm not spilling stuff everywhere. I think that's pretty good. Here we go, it's the next day, check it out. I overfilled it on purpose so I can sand it. I want to get it sanded and smooth. Like this would work, you would still need to sand this to get the new stuff to stick to it. So we need to do that anyway, and I want it to be. So come out here, sand it, and then I'm gonna cut part of this so it'll fit into the mold. You can imagine this is the mold we're gonna use. I need it to fit in there. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it. Whatever the offcuts are, they're gonna go in there too. I just gotta make it to fit in there. So let's do some sanding. Before we get into this, we gotta talk about safety. This table, this whole thing is a dust collector. That pipe goes in there and it goes to a downdraft table. Every one of these holes is sucking air in. And this hose goes down there too, so it's a dust collection going straight to the sander. A lot of this stuff gets sucked up. And wear a respirator. This is fun, but we want to be safe also. The other thing is, if you're sanding resin, use the sandpaper that has the holes in it, the mesh kind. Otherwise, if you use regular sandpaper, that's what it's going to look like. This will last 10 times as long. So let's get started.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep. I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kind of feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss you. We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree. Made a reputation for ourselves at age 18. We had
So I have this one fit nicely into this mold. I might shape it a little bit more, but by the time you see this video, the live will already be out. It'll be this video right here. Go check it out. Subscribe if you learned anything, and we'll see you next time, and y'all be good.
It's cold.